It's the sound of maybe 1,000 paper aeroplanes hitting St James's Park tomorrow. Leeds match preview. Welcome back everyone. I didn't get a chance to jump on for a Man United match preview or match review. I actually went to the game. Plenty of drink involved, first away day for a year and a half. That was probably the only positive to take from last weekend's game. Well, we'll touch on that in a second. There was maybe a couple of positives, but I think I was too drunk at that point to really focus on the positives after getting another absolute hiding, 4 more goals conceded. Leeds coming up tomorrow night, first game of the weekend. I mean, it's getting to the point now. Are we allowed to say 6 pointers already? I mean, Leeds are struggling, we're struggling, we're both going for our first win of the season. On paper, it's a winnable game, but with Newcastle the way we defended at the moment, who knows? There's planned protests for today's game, for tomorrow's game, so I'll touch on that before we actually get started on the match itself. Now, I'm not one of these fans who's going to jump down the throat of any fan base or group who decides to protest against Mike Ashley and even the Premier League because of what happened last year. I fully believe that the Premier League are corrupt, and I think anyone who's making an effort to create a Facebook group, create a Twitter group, get traction, get something organised, print stuff probably out of their own back pocket to try and chuck it at Ashley or whatever, I'm not going to sit here and criticise them. Yes, there's people out there who are saying what is blowing whistles going to do, what's throwing paper aeroplanes going to do, and I agree. That's probably not going to do very much apart from make us the laughing stock to anybody watching on TV tomorrow night. But having said that, look what happened at Man United a couple of months ago. Those, that's what, in my opinion, what we should be looking to do. I know I'm not going to sit here and say we should be storming pitches and hurling abuse at pundits and all the other stuff that Man United idiots did on that day. But that was a kind of movement and protest that got noticed worldwide. Everybody wanted to know why they'd done it. Everybody wanted to know why the game had been stopped. So I think if you are going to protest, I think it's always better to do it on a large scale. Maybe not paper aeroplanes. I mean, I'm assuming that the belief is that by all of us blowing whistles in St James's Park tomorrow night, that might stop the game through confusion from the referee's whistle. I don't know. But I've read about it. I'm curious to see tomorrow night who's going to be doing it and who's not. I've seen there's going to be there's a paper fly you can print out to hold up. We've been here before. We've been here with Pardew. We've been here with just the general owners. I remember the Cockney Mafia banner going around. God, what probably feels about 25 years ago, because that's how long this shite has been going on. But I'm not going to get on the backs of anyone planning a protest. If you want to do that tomorrow night, then feel free. It's on Sky, so it's going to get some traction if people are protesting in the ground. That's probably what the logic is. But let's just focus on the football for a minute. And, I'm not a fan of Steve Bruce. I've heard what he said this week in his press conferences. Again, he's followed exactly the same pattern as last season. He's getting very, very up. He's getting on his back when he's asked questions about the criticism he's getting from us. He doesn't like it. He's got no kind of response at all. His answers are very aggressive. If the results aren't going well, you've got to expect your fan base to be getting on your back. And I totally understand Steve Bruce has had a terrible transfer window, but we need to see a little bit more. I mean, yes, on Saturday there was some positives. I see it all the time that we are St Maximin FC. That was generally the case on Saturday. Almiron had a much better game, and I will say that because I'm his biggest critic as well. Almiron did play better and he was instrumental in our goal. But generally speaking, some of the goals we conceded on Saturday were not good enough. I mean, I've watched the highlights back when I eventually got back from Manchester. How Bruno Fernandes is getting that much time to get a shot off for their third goal, I think it was, that pretty much killed the game. It's just beyond belief. If I'm on the Sunday League pitch and I'm watching someone get that much time in central midfield to pick his spot and have a shot, regardless of how good the strike was, it's just ridiculous. But we as Newcastle fans need answers. Why is Isaac Hayden, one of our most instrumental defensive midfielders, playing centre-back when we have options like Fernandes, who for me has not put much of a foot wrong the last couple of years, Fabian Schär, trusted Swiss international, on the bench, and Isaac Hayden starting in that centre-back position. I don't know whether Bruce has been asked that in his press conferences, I don't know. But at the moment, we are lacking any type of steel at the back. Lascelles is normally good for his reliability, his organisation. He's probably not the best footballer, but he hasn't brought that when he's played. We just look weaker than last season. And yes, we are weaker squad-wise, but the same players are playing at centre-back. For me, as soon as Paul Dummett comes back from injury, he needs to come back in, without a shadow of a doubt. Richie and Murphy, I know Manquillo played on Saturday, but Richie and Murphy, if they are continue to keep playing as our wing-backs, are going to get found out. Do you know why? Because they are not defenders, they are wingers. You can't suddenly expect a player to play out of his skin. I saw Richie's stats about creating chances. That's all well and good, but if he's not doing his job at the back, what good is it having someone playing left back, regardless of whether it's 5, if he can't defend? And we are going to keep getting found out. Woodman, well, can we get on the back of a young kid who's finally living his dream playing the shirt in Newcastle? He's made a mistake for the Ronaldo goal, which he's owned up about on Instagram. Yes, it's not good enough. Would I bring Darlow in? I guess I would. Darlow is more experienced. That's not me criticising Woodman at any means, but right now we need points. And Leeds for me, it's a must-win game after the start we've had of the season. So if Darlow is available, who we know has been there, done it, some people wanted him to stay in over Dubravka last season and get him in the team. Woodman, I'm sorry, you've messed up. You've got your chance to get back watching Darlow, watching Dubravka, learning your trade again, and I'm sure another opportunity will creep up. But Darlow has to come in for me if he's fit. Gale, again, Bruce, why is he not playing? He's signed a year contract. I agree with Alan Shearer on Match of the Day. He's just being given that contract to keep him on the books because we can't sell him. But why is he not playing? On Saturday we played with a false 10, if you want to call it that, in St. Maximin. Get him on the wing. He's the person that should be supplying someone. I'm not saying Gale's going to bang us 3 or 4 against Leeds tomorrow, but if he's in the team, you've got a striker on the back foot that you can play some sort of ball into, and we didn't have that on Saturday. We had Maximin not quite knowing where to be. Yes, he causes problems, but he's never going to be a false 10 striker by himself in a match like that. I think Leeds, there's going to be goals tomorrow. I think for the neutral, it's going to be a decent game. Leeds can't defend for shit. They've had a terrible start of the season. We, at the moment, can't defend for shit. But here we are, 4 games in, talking about must-win matches, and I'm already sick to the back teeth. I feel like our club is so dead at the moment, and it's always been dead for the last 10 years under Ashley, but it is now at breaking point. And the longer this goes on, I've got to say it, I think Steve Bruce has to walk. Something has to change because, there was 44,000 there against Southampton. Tomorrow's going to be my first game back at St James's. I'm not expecting to see much of a bigger crowd than that. If it is, it's probably because Leeds fans have filled the home end, because Mike Ashley's not going to turn them down. He's not going to do postcode checks, so it could get tasty tomorrow. But generally, it's a big game for us going into what are 2 away games in Watford and Wolves, difficult games. Any away game in the Premier League is difficult. So for me, it is a must-win match. I don't think that much of the team's going to change. I'd like to see Gale come in and put Maximin back on his left-hand side and go back to the system we played with Wilson. That's probably not going to happen. Manquillo probably deserves to keep his place in the team. Great goal on Saturday. Probably is a little bit better defensively than Murphy, but probably not generally as good going forward as Murphy on his day. But again, we need to get back to defensive basics, otherwise we are going to keep leaking goals and we are going to get further and further away from other teams. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting atmosphere. Are people going to protest? Are they not? Predictions, I'm going to go, again stupidly, I'm going to go with me heart over my head, and I'll go for I think there's definitely going to be goals. I'll go for a 3-2 Newcastle win. Don't know where we're getting 3 goals from, by the way. Hopefully Maximin and Willock fancy it. Or Big Joy might turn on his Brazilian magic. As always, Newcastle fans, drop in the comments. Let me know whether you're even expecting anything tomorrow night, whether you're going to the game, who you'd like to see come in, and your predictions for the match. If you are protesting, let me know, because I'm curious to find out who is. And as always, make sure you subscribe to Black and White Banter on Facebook, Instagram, and obviously give this video a like and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. I am going to get back to posting again. I'm back from America now, getting my head back in the game in the UK, and I do plan to pick up this page again. Fingers crossed tomorrow night. Good start to the weekend. It's either going to make our weekend great or it's going to ruin it before it's even started. I'm not taking any bets on which one that's going to be. Away the lads.